Who has faced the most assassination attempts on a single person? Is it someone similar to Queen Victoria? Abraham Lincoln, President? How about Adolf Hitler? These individuals have all survived many assassination attempts. We tally down the top 10 people who have been the targets of botched assassination attempts. Yasser Arafat is number 10. Arafat was viewed as a freedom fighter by some and a terrorist by others. Many would-be murderers saw him as the leader of the Palestinian Liberation Organization and the Palestinian National Authority. In 1985, Israeli fighter planes destroyed his Tunis offices, killing numerous people. But Arafat survived after going for a morning exercise. He later claimed that he never slept in the same area on 2 consecutive nights to avoid assassins, who allegedly attempted to kill him several times over the years. Following Arafat's death, many suspected he was poisoned with polonium, although forensic teams produced contradictory results. 9th, Josip Broz Tito. Tito defied death numerous times as a soldier, communist revolutionary, and resistance fighter against the Nazis. Later, as Prime Minister and later President of Yugoslavia, he refused to surrender to Soviet supervision, causing conflict with former ally Joseph Stalin. "I'll shake my little finger," Stalin said, "and there will be no more Tito." He followed up on that statement by sending assassins after Tito, causing Tito to reply to Stalin, "Stop sending people to kill me." 5 of them have already been apprehended. Tito vowed to send an assassin to Moscow if Stalin's attempts did not stop. Stalin died a few years after the transaction, in 1953, 27 years before Tito. 8. Russian Emperor Alexander II. During his reign, Emperor Alexander II undertook several modernizing changes, including the emancipation of Russian serfs, which resulted in the full citizenship of around 23 million people. However, his rule was met with increasing hostility from revolutionaries and Polish nationalists, who attempted to assassinate or blow him up at least 6 times. These attempts began with revolutionary Dmitry Karakozov, who attempted to assassinate him outside St. Petersburg's Summer Garden. Someone in the crowd accidentally nudged his elbow, and the shot went wide. Alexander's luck ultimately ran out after surviving for more attempts. He was blown up in the street by members of the revolutionary socialist organization Narodnaya Volya. Abraham Lincoln, number 7. Before being assassinated by John Wilkes Booth in 1865, the 16th President of the United States and Civil War hero survived at least 5 assassination plots. There were plans in Baltimore to stab him, another to send him yellow fever and smallpox-infected clothing, 2 shooting attempts, and a conspiracy to blow up the White House. Honest Abe once lost his hat while riding alone when a gunshot scared his horse. The hat was later discovered with a bullet hole in it. Queen Victoria is number 6. Being royalty has some severe drawbacks. Sure, you get to live in luxury, but people frequently try to shoot you when you leave the castle. Queen Victoria escaped an estimated 8 murder attempts, the majority of which occurred when she was riding in horse-drawn carriages. Her assassins included lunatics, a hunchback named John William Bean, and a dissatisfied poet, to mention a few. Fortunately for the Queen, these shooters either used firearms with no bullets or had lousy aim, and her reign lasted more than 63 years. Pope John Paul II is number 5. Someone was keeping an eye out for this pope. A member of the Turkish nationalist movement Grey Wolves shot him 4 times and seriously wounded him in St. Peter's Square in 1981. Some speculated that the effort was ordered by the KGB. Later, the Pope pardoned and befriended the gunman. He survived another attempt the following year when a former priest tried to attack him with a bayonet but was prevented by security personnel. Everyone seemed to want their turn. In 1995, Osama bin Laden-funded Islamic terrorists attempted to disguise a suicide bomber as a priest and blow up the Pope. They thwarted their own plot, however, by sparking a chemical fire and notifying authorities. Adolf Hitler was number 4. Killing Hitler was a very real mission both before and during World War II. In truth, many of Hitler's would-be murderers were Germans who thought he was bringing the country to ruin. Though scores of assassination attempts were launched against him, the most renowned being the 20th of July plot in 1944, which was part of Operation Valkyrie. Lieutenant Colonel Klaus Schenk Graf von Stauffenberg, a one-eyed combat veteran, attempted to assassinate Hitler with a bomb stashed in a briefcase. Unfortunately, the conference table leg sheltered Hitler from the blast, which barely burned his trousers. Charles de Gaulle is number 3. As the French leader of the government in exile during World War II, de Gaulle is recognized for his valiant resistance to the Nazis. De Gaulle, a soldier who fought against the Germans in both World Wars, was eventually elected President of France, a position he maintained for a decade. The organization Armée Secrète, or OAS, a French terrorist organization opposed to his decision to grant Algeria independence from colonial authority, however, targeted him. The OAS raked his automobile with machine guns in 1962. He survived and is quoted as saying, "They shoot like pigs." He reportedly survived 31 attempts on his life in total. Zogaj of Albania is number 2. Zogaj reputedly escaped 55 assassination attempts throughout his rise from prime minister to president to king. During his reign, he attempted to unite the country while harshly suppressing civil freedoms, creating many enemies in the process. He was shot inside the Albanian parliament and again as he left the opera, causing him to fire back and drive off his attackers. Despite these efforts and smoking 200 cigarettes a day, Zog died of an undisclosed illness in a French hospital at the age of 65. His fortitude must have run in the family. His son Lika once fought off intruders around his plane with a bazooka. Fidel Castro is number 1. Castro easily wins this one. He survived not 10 assassination attempts, not 100, but an astounding 638. In the 1960s, the CIA attempted to assassinate Castro by all means possible, including poisoned cigars, an exploding seashell, and even a femme fatale, Castro's lover Marita Lorenz. When Lorenz returned to Havana, Castro figured out the plot and handed her his pistol, adding, "You can't kill me. Nobody has the power to murder me." They then made love. Despite numerous assassination attempts over the years, Castro lived until the age of 90. Thank you so much for joining me today. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and, most importantly, stay safe.